If your quality of life is suffering due to an enlarged prostate, making some changes to your daily bathing routine might be beneficial. Urologists note that 3 habits commonly practiced by older men during bathing can negatively affect prostate health. Changing these habits may support your medication treatment and help alleviate your symptoms. Research shows that approximately 70% of men over 60 experience some degree of benign prostatic hyperplasia or BPH. This non-cancerous enlargement of the prostate has become so common that many consider it an inevitable part of male aging. Yet what many men don't realize is that certain everyday habits, particularly those related to bathing and hygiene, may be contributing to prostate inflammation and potentially worsening BPH symptoms. What's particularly interesting is that 3 specific bathing habits appear to be especially problematic for prostate health in older men. Let us know where you're watching from and how old you are in the comments below. These problematic bathing habits have gained attention from urologists who specialize in men's health. What's consistent across these specialists' observations is that making simple adjustments to your bathing routine may help reduce inflammation and irritation that can exacerbate prostate symptoms. When urologists first began investigating the connection between bathing habits and prostate health, many were surprised to discover how significant these seemingly minor routines could be. However, as research accumulates, the physiological mechanisms behind these connections are beginning to make scientific sense. I'm Dr. Robert Anderson, and for over 25 years, I've specialized in urology with a focus on men's health issues, particularly those affecting older men. Today I'll share information about 3 common bathing habits that may be negatively impacting your prostate health. Habits that, when changed, might help complement your treatment plan and potentially improve your symptoms. Before we explore these habits, I'd like to ask you to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell. Each week, we share evidence-based approaches to healthy aging focused on practical, accessible strategies. If you're interested in ways to potentially support your prostate health, you won't want to miss our upcoming videos. These bathing habits are worth examining because they relate to how inflammation, circulation, and temperature, 3 factors that significantly influence prostate health, are affected by our daily routines. To understand why these habits matter, let's first look at how the prostate responds to its environment. The prostate gland is particularly sensitive to inflammation, which can cause the tissue to swell and exacerbate urinary symptoms. Additionally, proper blood circulation to the pelvic region is essential for prostate health, as it helps remove inflammatory compounds and deliver nutrients and oxygen to the tissues. Temperature also plays a crucial role, as the prostate functions optimally within a specific temperature range. The prostate's position within the body makes it vulnerable to environmental factors that affect the pelvic region. Located just below the bladder and surrounding the urethra, the prostate is situated in close proximity to the perineum, the area between the genitals and anus. This anatomical relationship means that conditions affecting the perineal region, including temperature, moisture, and local irritation, can potentially influence prostate health. Furthermore, the prostate contains abundant blood vessels and nerve endings, making it responsive to changes in blood flow and inflammatory signals. When inflammation occurs in nearby tissues, inflammatory mediators can travel through the bloodstream or local tissue pathways to affect the prostate, potentially exacerbating existing BPH symptoms. With these factors in mind, let's examine the 3 bathing habits that urologists have identified as potentially problematic for men with prostate concerns. The 3 problematic bathing habits. The first habit that may be negatively affecting your prostate health is taking excessively hot baths or showers. While a warm bath can be relaxing and beneficial for muscle tension, water that's too hot can potentially increase inflammation in the prostate region. When the body is exposed to excessive heat, blood vessels dilate and blood flow increases to the area. For the prostate, which may already be experiencing inflammation due to BPH, this increased blood flow can potentially intensify swelling and associated symptoms. Additionally, research suggests that prolonged exposure to high temperatures may temporarily affect the body's inflammatory response, potentially exacerbating existing inflammation in the prostate. The heat exposure from hot baths or showers may be particularly significant for older men, due to age-related changes in thermoregulation and vascular response. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at moderating temperature effects, potentially making the prostate more susceptible to heat-induced inflammation. Additionally, the skin becomes thinner with age, potentially allowing heat to more easily affect deeper tissues. Urologists recommend maintaining bath or shower water at a moderate temperature, warm enough to be comfortable, but not hot enough to cause significant reddening of the skin. As a general guideline, water temperature around 100 degrees Fahrenheit 38 degrees Celsius is typically appropriate, while temperatures above 104 degrees Fahrenheit 40 degrees Celsius may be problematic for prostate health. The second habit that might be contributing to prostate issues is the use of harsh soaps and shower gels in the genital region. Many commercial cleansers contain ingredients like sodium lauryl sulfate, artificial fragrances, and preservatives that can be irritating to sensitive tissues. When these products are used in the genital area, irritation can occur that may potentially contribute to overall pelvic inflammation. The chemical irritants in these products can disrupt the natural pH balance of the skin and potentially cause microscopic inflammation in sensitive tissues. These seemingly minor irritations may trigger local inflammatory responses that, for men with existing prostate conditions, could potentially contribute to the overall inflammatory burden in the pelvic region. Moreover, some cleansing products contain endocrine-disrupting chemicals that may potentially affect hormonal balance over time. Given that prostate health is closely tied to hormonal regulation, particularly the balance of androgens, male hormones, and estrogens, introducing these compounds near the genital area might theoretically have long-term implications for prostate health. This local irritation matters because inflammation tends to be systemic, meaning irritation in one area can trigger inflammatory responses in nearby tissues. For men with prostate concerns, additional sources of inflammation in the pelvic region may potentially worsen existing prostate symptoms. Urologists recommend using mild, unscented cleansers, specifically formulated for sensitive skin, when washing the genital area. Some men find that simple, hypoallergenic soaps, or even just warm water alone provides adequate cleansing without introducing potentially irritating compounds. The third problematic habit is insufficient drying after bathing, particularly in the genital and perineal areas. When moisture is left in these areas, it creates an environment conducive to bacterial and fungal growth, which can lead to infections and inflammation in the surrounding tissues. This moisture-related issue becomes increasingly important as men age, as skin folds may become more pronounced and the immune system's response to microbial challenges may be less efficient. The resulting low-grade infections or irritation in the perineal area can potentially contribute to inflammation that affects the nearby prostate. The perineum's proximity to the prostate means that inflammatory conditions in this area may more directly affect prostate health than issues in more distant regions of the body. The thin tissues separating these areas allow for the relatively easy transmission of inflammatory signals, and potentially even microbial migration in some cases. Furthermore, chronic moisture can lead to skin maceration, a softening and breakdown of skin tissue that can compromise the skin's barrier function. This compromise potentially allows irritants and microbes greater access to underlying tissues, creating additional sources of inflammation in close proximity to the prostate. Urologists recommend thoroughly drying the entire genital and perineal area after bathing, paying particular attention to skin folds and the area beneath the scrotum. Using a clean, dry towel and ensuring complete dryness can help prevent moisture-related issues that might indirectly affect prostate health. Richard, a 72-year-old who had been managing BPH for several years, made changes to these 3 bathing habits after discussing them with his urologist. I was taking very hot showers because I thought the heat would help with my overall aches and pains, he explains. I also wasn't paying particular attention to the soaps I was using or to thoroughly drying afterward. When my doctor suggested these might be contributing to my prostate symptoms, I was skeptical but willing to try changing them. After adjusting his bathing routine for about a month, Richard noticed a difference. I was surprised that something seemingly so minor could have an impact, but my nighttime urination decreased from 4 to 5 times to 2 to 3 times, and I experienced less urgency during the day. It wasn't a complete cure, but alongside my medication, these changes definitely improved my quality of life. What surprised Richard most was how the change in soap affected his overall comfort. I switched to a very mild unscented cleanser, and not only did it seem to help with my prostate symptoms, but some skin irritation I'd been experiencing also improved. It made me realize how interconnected our body systems really are. Richard also noted improvements in his sleep quality as a result of fewer nighttime bathroom trips. Getting more uninterrupted sleep has improved my energy levels and overall mood. It's remarkable how something as simple as changing my bathing habits could have such far-reaching effects on my quality of life. Implementing better bathing habits. Making changes to long-established bathing routines can take some adjustment, but implementing prostate-friendly habits is relatively straightforward. Here are specific recommendations for each area of concern. For water temperature, consider using a bath thermometer initially to ensure you're staying within the recommended range of 98 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 36.5 to 38 degrees Celsius. If you don't have a thermometer, a good rule of thumb is that the water should feel pleasantly warm but not hot enough to cause your skin to turn red quickly. If you've been accustomed to very hot showers, try gradually reducing the temperature over several days to make the adjustment more comfortable. For cleansing products, look for soaps and body washes labeled as fragrance-free, not just unscented, which may still contain masking fragrances, and formulated for sensitive skin. Ingredients to avoid include sodium lauryl sulfate, artificial fragrances, preservatives like parabens, and antibacterial agents like triclosan. Some men find that natural cleansers with ingredients like oatmeal or aloe vera are particularly gentle on sensitive areas. When selecting cleansers, consider products specifically formulated for sensitive skin, or those labeled as pH balanced. These products are typically less likely to disrupt the natural acid mantle of the skin, which helps protect against microbial overgrowth. Additionally, cleansers containing mild, plant-based surfactants rather than harsh detergents may be less likely to cause irritation. For drying techniques, consider using a separate, clean towel specifically for the genital and perineal areas. Pat rather than rub these sensitive tissues, and pay particular attention to thoroughly drying all skin folds and the area beneath the scrotum. If you have difficulty reaching all areas, consider using a handheld mirror to ensure complete dryness or a handheld hair dryer on a cool setting, held at a safe distance. For men with mobility limitations that make thorough drying challenging, adaptive techniques might include using a bath bench or shower chair to sit while drying, using long-handled sponges or towels, or scheduling bathing when assistance is available if needed. The key principle is ensuring complete dryness, regardless of the specific technique used to achieve it. Thomas, a 68-year-old with moderate BPH symptoms, found implementing these changes relatively easy once he established a new routine. The temperature adjustment was the hardest part. I really enjoyed hot showers, he shares. But I found that setting the water heater to a lower temperature helped prevent me from absent-mindedly turning it up too high. After a couple of weeks, I didn't even miss the extra heat. What Thomas found particularly effective was changing his drying routine. I had never paid much attention to thoroughly drying the perineal area. Making sure that area was completely dry made a noticeable difference in my overall comfort throughout the day, and over time, I believe it contributed to less irritation and fewer prostate symptoms. Thomas also mentioned an unexpected benefit of the cooler shower temperatures. I noticed that my skin wasn't as dry and itchy after switching to moderate temperature showers. Apparently, very hot water strips away natural oils, which was making my already age-dry skin worse. This was an unexpected but welcome improvement. Let us know where you're watching from and how old you are in the comments below. While changing these 3 main bathing habits provides a good foundation, there are several additional considerations that might further support prostate health. These targeted modifications might be worth considering depending on your particular situation. Additional considerations for prostate health. For men who enjoy soaking in a bathtub rather than showering, limiting bath time to 15 to 20 minutes may help prevent potential issues related to prolonged heat exposure and skin maceration, softening from moisture. Additionally, adding Epsom salts, magnesium sulfate, to bath water may provide mild anti-inflammatory benefits that could potentially support prostate health. For those who experience significant nocturia, nighttime urination, Timing your bathing routine might make a difference. Some urologists suggest that bathing earlier in the day rather than immediately before bedtime may help reduce nighttime urinary frequency for some men. This timing adjustment might help prevent the mild increase in circulation to the pelvic region that bathing can cause from affecting sleep-time urinary patterns. For men who use topical products after bathing, such as lotions or powders, choosing products without potential endocrine-disrupting chemicals may be prudent. Some research suggests that certain chemicals in personal care products, including phthalates and parabens, may potentially affect hormonal balance, which could theoretically impact prostate health over time. For men who shave or trim pubic hair, being mindful of potential skin irritation from razors or trimmers is important. Microcuts or razor burn can create additional sources of inflammation in the genital region. Using appropriate shaving techniques, clean equipment, and soothing aftershave products formulated for sensitive skin may help minimize this potential source of irritation. James, a 74-year-old with both BPH and occasional prostatitis flare-ups, found that adding Epsom salt baths to his routine was particularly helpful. My urologist suggested taking an Epsom salt bath twice a week, making sure the water wasn't too hot, he explains. I found that this practice, combined with the other bathing habit changes, seemed to reduce the frequency of my prostatitis episodes and help with my overall discomfort. What James appreciated most was having non-pharmaceutical approaches to help manage his symptoms. At my age, I'm already taking several medications for various conditions. Having natural approaches that complement my prescribed treatments gives me a sense of control over my health without adding more drugs to my regimen. James also noticed improvements in his overall muscle and joint comfort from the Epsom salt baths. The magnesium seems to help with some of my arthritis discomfort as well. It's nice when one self-care practice provides multiple benefits. It makes it much easier to maintain consistently. The physiological mechanisms behind how these bathing habits affect prostate health involve several interconnected systems. Excessive heat can increase blood flow and potentially exacerbate inflammation in already inflamed tissues. Irritating soaps can trigger local inflammatory responses that may affect nearby organs through inflammatory mediators in the bloodstream. Insufficient drying can lead to microbial overgrowth, creating another potential source of inflammation in close proximity to the prostate. Additionally, these external factors may interact with the hormonal and nervous system regulation of the prostate and urinary function. The prostate contains both smooth muscle tissue and glandular components, both of which can be affected by local environmental conditions including temperature, inflammation, and microbial balance. Now, I want to share what might be the most important factor for success with these changes, something that urologists consistently emphasize. The key factor appears to be consistency and patience. Unlike medications that might produce effects within days, the benefits of changing bathing habits typically develop gradually as chronic inflammation subsides and tissues return to a more normal state. Many men report noticing improvements within 2 to 4 weeks of consistent practice, with continued improvements over several months. It's also important to maintain realistic expectations. While these bathing habit changes may help support prostate health and potentially reduce symptoms, they typically provide complementary benefits rather than replacing appropriate medical care. The advantage, however, is that these changes are generally free from side effects and can be safely implemented alongside conventional treatments. Michael, a 79-year-old who incorporated these bathing habit changes into his comprehensive approach to prostate health, emphasized the importance of viewing them as part of a larger strategy. These changes to my bathing routine were just one piece of my overall approach, he shares. I also made dietary changes, started specific exercises, and continued taking my prescribed medication. Together, these approaches have helped me manage my prostate symptoms much better than any single approach alone. What Michael found most valuable was the sense of empowerment these changes gave him. When you're dealing with prostate issues, it's easy to feel like your body is betraying you and there's nothing you can do except take medication. Learning that simple changes to daily habits like bathing can make a difference gave me a sense that I could actively participate in improving my health. For those who want to implement these prostate-friendly bathing habits, I recommend starting today and committing to at least 4 weeks of consistent practice, before evaluating their effectiveness for your specific situation. Remember that these changes work best as part of a comprehensive approach to prostate health that includes appropriate medical care, proper hydration, regular physical activity, and a diet rich in anti-inflammatory foods. It's worth noting that while these bathing habit changes are generally safe for most men, it's always wise to discuss any new approaches to managing prostate health with your healthcare provider, particularly if you're experiencing significant symptoms or taking medications for prostate conditions. Let's summarize the 3 problematic bathing habits that men over 60 with prostate concerns should consider changing. Avoid excessively hot baths and showers, maintaining water temperature around 98 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 36.5 to 38 degrees Celsius. Use mild, fragrance-free cleansers formulated for sensitive skin in the genital area, avoiding products with harsh chemicals and irritants. Thoroughly dry the entire genital and perineal area after bathing, paying particular attention to skin folds and the area beneath the scrotum. Additionally, consider limiting bath time to 15 to 20 minutes, adding Epsom salts to bath water for potential anti-inflammatory benefits, and choosing personal care products free from endocrine-disrupting chemicals. These simple changes to your bathing routine, when implemented consistently as part of a comprehensive approach to prostate health, may help reduce inflammation and irritation that can exacerbate BPH symptoms. While no lifestyle change can replace appropriate medical care for prostate conditions, these adjustments represent gentle, complementary options that might help support your prostate health as you age. The beauty of these approaches lies in their simplicity and accessibility. They require minimal expense, can be implemented immediately, and may be used alongside conventional treatments with your doctor's approval. If you found this information valuable, please consider sharing this video with friends and family who might benefit. Many men struggle with prostate issues as they age, unaware that simple habit changes might offer additional support. Subscribe to our channel for more evidence-based approaches to healthy aging, and tap the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Each week, we explore different aspects of well-being for older adults, always focused on practical, accessible strategies. Thank you for joining me today. I wish you vibrant health and well-being in the years ahead. Until next time, take good care of yourself.